Our friend Lazarus sleepeth. Lazarus is dead.
The escape pod.
I'm Jezbot.
I'm Timmy Taco.
And I'm Sean Enough.
Welcome back to the Turnstile Records presents The Escape Pod. Episode probably 153 or something.
Probably. Yeah. I'll make a point not to say the number at the
Yeah,
at the
I
top.
know, but... You know.
Yeah, because you never know. So don't do that again.
Oh, well, 'cause, you know, now you have to do...
You have been
to
told.
edit it.
Now, you told us that if we got here early to start without you. So
that's
I
right.
had... I've got somebody else to introduce.
Well, I've just come off the coal mine, so I didn't know how long it was going to take me to wash my face. And
Yeah,
I
fair
actually
enough.
just cleaned my feet in your bath, and that's a true story.
Is it really?
Well, I had to take my boots off, and my feet stunk.
There's a snake in your boots. So introducing...
I'm Jezbot 3000 futuristic fully automated soundboard system.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be here tonight.
No, you don't. I thought I put the...
Yes.
There it is. Yes, you don't have to be
Yes.
here, or no, you don't have to be here. I don't know.
You had it right in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to replace you with
That's
the
fine.
fully
Well, if
automated
at any
soundboard
stage
system.
I'm lagging, or I'm
Sure.
saying just hit me with one over there.
Yes.
Okay, done.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's going to be a very news-heavy episode. This
Fair
one.
enough.
We've been trawling through the news stories.
Trolling.
Trawling.
Mhm.
Trawling.
Trolling, I think maybe.
I think I said that.
Yeah, you did, but
Am I being
are
reprimanded?
you being a troll?
Am I being reprimanded here?
I think so. Are we
Oh,
fighting?
now we're even. Okay. So yeah. So I guess we can even hit the old
North, east, west, south.
It's the
Doing news straight from the top.
Straight
Do
from
you want to
the
do it
top.
again because someone wasn't paying attention?
Okay. He's busy texting his mum.
North, east, west, south.
It's the news.
It's the news.
You're fired.
yeah.
No,
get
you're
the
not
hell
fired.
out of here.
Finish the
We
episode.
were just talking about doing a second podcast, cheating on us, and yet you, I think you might already be.
No, moonlighting. No, not at all. I'm trying to do some research ahead of the concepts. You know, you're ruining the radio magic here, fellas.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so
You
are
know.
we being reprimanded?
I think.
No.
Are we fighting?
Are we fired?
Well, I'm Timmy Taco.
I'm Jezbot.
And I'm Sean Enough.
Welcome to Turnstile Records presents The Escape Pod. It's a news-heavy episode we're doing. Hit the theme.
North, east, west, south.
It's the news. Well done. We're back on track.
We are back on track.
Well, who's first up? Who's got what?
Look, you know, it's always a very news heavy week, isn't it? And
Apart from
I'd
those
like
times
to
where
I'd like
it's-
to start with there is a snake in my boots, and a Scottish grandmother, Maria Boxall, returned from a trip to Australia. Returned from she was in Australia. Yeah.
I know a Maria Boxall.
Do you really?
I think so.
Okay.
Curly's mum.
Is it someone you tried to get with in high school?
Well, we might read from another Jezbot's prequel diary entry.
Have I got one here?
I've got it in my little knapsack.
Yeah, there you go. So she had a snake curled up inside her shoe, inside her suitcase. So she's packed up her stuff here in Australia to go home to Scotland, and there's something in there. Now, I wanted to question it because I've been standing at those machines when you put the old suitcase
Scanning
through.
machine.
You're not going to miss a snake, are you?
Maybe there might be rubber snakes. How many times has one of those inspectors stopped the baggage to inspect a rubber chicken or a plastic frog or
Yeah.
some sort of a koala bear?
But they don't
As
have
say.
skeletons.
I know it's not a
Yeah,
bear.
but I'm
Oh,
going
they
from
don't
the
have
angle.
skeleton. They don't.
I'm
yeah.
going from the angle that I've been through the airport in Australia.
Oh, congratulations.
Going to you really must go.
Hey, big flyer.
And and the quarantine issues, right? There's the last time we came through the airport, I went, there's no way you could ever smuggle anything into Australia via your suitcase, old school styles. Like think of it like it was a snake shaped cocaine.
Right,
Do you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
Yes, I'm saying.
So and that's like to take a creature out of Australia is obviously a.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I don't know how they've got through. She's gone through every check. I guess she slipped through the cracks. But when she's got home, she's opened up her suitcase and lo and behold, there it is, curled up in her shoe.
I have a direct story, or a is that the word?
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, okay. I
Better
don't
way
know.
to say that.
Tell it. And we'll
Anyway,
know.
yeah, I guess. Through the Bali thing, the old geckos, the skinks.
Yep.
I often found a skink in the luggage.
In your gear, makes
Did you,
sense.
did you find one?
I have.
Oh, when you got
Come
home.
home, dead skink. Or
Dead
dead
skink.
gecko, I should say.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
it does
quite criminal.
happen. Where was it?
In Bali, and then it was in where I live,
Yeah.
in the bag.
No, I get that, but in the bag was
yeah.
it?
I just like in
Well-
the bag. I must have, because I know I have said in the past, when I go to a hotel, I hang everything up and I utilise the cupboard space. But on some occasions, let's be honest, boys, the shirts and the dirty socks and the pool gear is on the floor in a big bunch.
Yeah.
So I
okay.
might have just swept up the old gecko, chucked it in the old luggage.
Yeah. So it does happen. There you go.
By accident.
No
so
one spotted
it was
it.
You're right, though. I feel the same way about border security. You know, like there's a lot of television programs that make us feel this way as well.
Paranoid.
I'm looking at you, Border Security, the
border,
TV
border
show.
security. But I have a first-hand story of border security. The first time I ever left the country, and my understanding of borders is that you can't take any kind of illegal paraphernalia, whether it be weaponry
Yep.
or drugs
Or
or
Snakes.
snakes or geckos out of the country and into another country. That's just what I thought.
I would have said snakes and geckos, same family. Reptiles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reptiles? No.
Could have summed it
Probably-
up.
Birds?
Yeah.
Are you reprimanding him?
I think I might be.
But anyways,
Let's keep it concise.
Yeah.
All right?
and I didn't go too far. Just a quick hop across the Tasman to get to New Zealand to do some snowboarding.
Sure. Oh,
And
this guy.
we left.
You really must go.
We left in the morning, and it's that close that the aim was to be snowboarding that afternoon on Coronet Peak in New Zealand.
Yeah,
on Queensland.
dude.
Yeah,
Like us,
we could be there,
Drano,
we could be
wannabe
there.
cucumber.
Build it, but K Turbo 130 Dad.
Yeah, right. So this was the plan. When I got there,
I love it.
and I'd never travelled overseas before, so I didn't quite know what to expect. But when I got to, I think, the customs area, they said, "Oh, yeah, Sean Bateman." I said, "Yes, we'd like you to just wait here."
Uh-oh.
And I thought, like I'd travelled exceptionally well, you know, and they wanted me to meet the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Ah, okay. They were going to reward you.
You're about to get an award.
Some kind of
Such a
prize.
courteous and pleasant.
Yeah.
Because it is
Traveller.
your first trip, they're probably going to oh, this is what it's like to travel. Please travel again. Here's a gift pack.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I had been selected to be searched,
Ah.
and I got searched thoroughly.
Oh, so you were eyeballed.
I was more
from
than
this end.
eyeballed. There was me and there was another couple on the metal stainless steel bench beside me. You know, quite a clinical stainless steel bench
Okay.
with someone going through my things and like opening up my pockets and pulling them inside out and then going through the seams with a toothpick.
You kidding me?
You know, this is
Comb the desert. We ain't found shit.
This is what they were doing. And by this stage I realised that this wasn't like the prize that I thought I was getting. So I started to sort of stress out a little bit.
He's
And they were
sweating.
like-
He's sweating,
They're like,
boys.
why do you appear so nervous? And I was like, I've seen Border Patrol.
Yeah.
I know what happens in these places.
This whole room is set up to intimidate me.
Well, it is. And there was tiers of authority that I had to go through, like to convince that I was going to be not a threat to their country.
Are you telling us you cried?
I didn't cry.
Oh, 'cause
I
there were
didn't cry.
tears.
Actually, I did the opposite. I had the option to be full body X-rayed or to be strip searched, but I wanted to be on the snow, man.
Yeah.
So I was like,
X-ray, quicker.
no, strip search.
Oh,
man.
strip search.
Strip search was heaps quicker.
Well, because the X-ray is just like, don't you stand
No,
in
I
that-
don't know. I have to wait for it.
Oh,
Maybe
and then you get the cancer.
You get all those extra rays you don't,
Yeah.
don't
extra
need.
rays. That's
X-ray.
right. But anyway, so I proceeded to the small room, led there by two guards, and their job was to strip search me. And they didn't have a sense of humour. I requested some sultry, funky music while I took my clothes off.
There's no
Yep.
funny in the airport.
No?
No.
This,
No jokes in the airport.
Sean Bateman, you're going to think this next search is gnarly, dude.
But yeah, I did the standard take your clothes off, spread your cheeks and do a spin.
You're fucking kidding me.
Had to do that.
You've got so many stories I don't know
And
about. Like the time you studied terrorism in university.
counter-terrorism,
we'll get
yeah.
that to
Didn't
that.
finish
Okay,
that degree,
right,
but
right. Anyway, let's get back to that.
But yeah, so But yeah, they were satisfied that I didn't have any drugs in the end. And then it was funny as like the tiers of authority went up scarier and more burlier, like security types as it went up. And I had to get through each tier of authority. But the end boss, was it's like, all right, well, this is going to go to our top level. And if this, he's going to decide if you can stay in the country or not. And I was like waiting for like the scariest, most authoritarian style dude. But he was the nicest, most flamboyant man wearing a pastel purple shirt. And he was like, hey, Sean, how are you? Have a good trip. Like, bang.
Oh, I thought he was the
it.
guy that knew his way around the cavity search.
Do you know what?
He's like to ease you in. Don't worry, I know my way around.
He
I'm
may or
not
may
gonna
not
hurt
have
you.
done his fair share of strip searches. But he was really friendly and I was let to go.
Well,
But
look, I listened to, this is no word of a lie, on the way over here, I'm listening to the latest Joe Rogan podcast
Sure.
with Dr. Phil,
Okay.
TV Zone.
Yep.
And he was speaking on this subject exactly with the interrogation and guilty parties. Because you've heard about this the latest brouhaha in America where that actor from, is it Empire? Or one of these shows
Yeah, sounds, Empire. I think that's...
has faked a hate crime on
I heard
himself.
something about that.
Right.
He claims the two dudes jumped out of the bushes.
Oh, I did
and
hear
put
about that,
Put a
yeah.
noose around his, and it's all a lie. He's
Yeah.
just a
It's a-
media
it's a-
whore or
yeah,
whatever, or he's mentally or whatever. Something's going on.
Yep.
But Dr. Phil was just saying, and listen to the episode; it's really insightful about liars.
Okay.
You talk at about 1,200 words a minute. You think at about 1,800.
Right.
So when someone accuses you of doing something,
You start spieling.
you start spieling, yes. But you're running through scenarios in your head of how to get out of it. Someone that's not done anything is indignant. I didn't do it. That's what they say straight away.
And it's
Did
the end.
you take it? No. They look you straight in the eye. And
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. I'm getting it pretty bad. I'm not doing a good job.
That's all right.
But
They'll
it's-
listen-
but
they'll
it's true.
listen to the real podcast.
Now, like, this is what I'm saying with your experience in the Tullamarine. They have the system. They have the tiered system, as you were saying. They knew by tier 2 that you were electric boogaloo. You were fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you didn't lie. You answered quickly. You were looking people in
But
the
they
eye.
put you through the stages because of your stages of...
Well, it's OH&S, Tim, like we're talking the last episode. You got to.
They had to
You
justify
got to do the.
looking at my
Is that
bumhole.
by the 4th tier you've thought of the scenario that gets you out of it, and that contradicts your first statement?
Well,
And so
apparently
they
you have to
know-
be you have to be very good at lying.
Okay.
But these people are trained, and Pastel Shirt Guy was watching all those other tiers, no doubt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So,
and the
well,
security
right.
cameras of the room out back.
He knew you hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
The time that I was pulled over, have I ever told this on the
don't know.
podcast? I was travelling in Europe, and I'd been in Amsterdam and travelled to Berlin, and I was the last person off the plane. I was right at the back, and I'd had enough travelling experience by now to go, don't stand up when
Just wait.
when we're taxiing. Just
Yeah.
wait. Let everyone else get off. So I just
You didn't know drug dealers always go last.
yeah, because they're sweating. But I was just like, I don't know, I'll just
Yeah,
stand
fuck
up on
it.
my own. I was by myself, so I was like, I was with Amber, my travelling buddy, and walking down the gateway. Amber was already through; she was up the front or whatever, and I'm walking towards the gate, and there's the burly Berlin police force with the German shepherds, or just shepherds.
Okay. Okay.
I believe they're Alsatians.
Yeah, well,
in Germany.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, I had bleached blonde hair below my shoulders. It was 2001, so give me.
You're looking
cut me some
totally
slack.
nice.
Totally, man. We're gonna be I'm gonna be smoking cans by 1:30, dude.
on the K2. No doubt.
So, but I'd been in Amsterdam, so there's weed everywhere. It's just weed
course, yeah,
central.
yeah.
So
They're gonna
obviously
go, right,
the
him.
shepherd's him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Smell him, dog. And sure enough, the dog, I'm walking past, and this German shepherd just jumps up. Like, that's the signal, like, this guy,
Okay.
this guy, this guy.
Okay.
So Amber and I get brought into the interrogation
The finger room.
the fingering room. But no English. So broken English, these guys. So they were...
What
I was
country
just
you
sort
in?
of-
Just so I can.
I was,
you know,
I was in German.
Okay.
Oh, there was English, but it was like, where have you been? Is that the only?
Yeah.
the only thing
That's,
you know
that's
about,
all I know.
Where have you been?
Something like that.
9.
So they go, right, open your bags. They're going through everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, going through the soap containers. It's everything. The toothpaste.
They know all the spots. They're like the dudes that check the prison cells.
And I'm just going, check it. I don't give a shit.
Go
No
for it.
worries.
Yeah.
And then they go off into the corner. There's 3 of them, and they start like they do a bit of a huddle. They're speaking in German. I don't understand. What do you think about this guy? What do you think about it? I was like, I made out shoes.
Morgan.
I made out shoes, and I think it was going to be to get them, take them off their shoes, and like do a.
It's on 'em.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on them. It's on their person because we can't find it in the book. In bag, sorry.
But once again, no sweats, eye contact. Go have a look. Go for it. Go nuts. I've been in Amsterdam. That's why I stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they let us out after about an hour, and the airport was empty. And well, I've written it in my diary. I'll read it out the rest of the Berlin trip.
Great.
Whatever. Went to Love Parade. It was awesome. Got laid.
You got with her.
Whatever. No, I didn't get with her. She wouldn't have a bar of me.
Okay.
That was a perfect traveling partner.
Continue.
That's it.
And then so they didn't get anything. Did you go through the tiers? Did the
No,
Germans
just
have
one
tiers?
No, just the one interrogation room, but 3 people. They're very efficient.
It's good being.
They're efficient, so they just bring all the ranks in at once.
It's good being innocent.
Yeah.
Like if you were even remotely guilty, I'm sure that they would have procedures in place to know exactly what's going on at what time. So it brings us back to the snake issue. How do you miss a snake if they're going to be that thorough for something with a toothpick? And
How do you miss a snake?
How do you miss a snake?
I think the reality is that there's still the potential for human error.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
So automate it. We need AIs, and like I always say, if you're going to have an AI, you've got to be able to fuck it.
Yes. Exactly.
So they're still trying to nail down that part of the technology before they
They're putting a lot more, way too much attention into their ability, the AI's ability to fuck us, and not near enough attention to our ability to fuck them.
This is very
it's a
true.
very strong argument.
But it can be done. I've heard first-hand accounts of people that have travelled with things that they shouldn't have been through very dangerous countries, and they've made it here safely.
Yeah.
And needless to say that we might not be friends anymore, but still harrowing tales.
Oh, harrowing.
I met a Japanese girl over there that was doing the same thing. She had
Muling.
she had a bag of weed on it, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Like, and she's like, "Yeah, I just take it on the train," and no one looks at me because I'm Japanese and I'm hot and.
Okay.
Well, she didn't say that, but she,
Okay,
she
but you thought
totally was, man.
You should totally was, man.
But just like the balls,
yeah, the
I
cojones.
just don't get it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's balls or just blatant stupidity. That's what I put it down to. Like, how could you be that? I mean, ignorance is bliss.
Haven't you seen Border Force?
Border Force or
Border Patrol?
Security Border Patrol?
Or Police
.com?
10-7. One of those ones.
Do you reckon those shows, the Bondi Rescues, all those, they're the new PSA? Like, instead of having the ads, don't litter anymore.
Clean,
absolutely.
clean. Keep your hands clean.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah,
they
which-
just put it in a nice show with bronze bodies.
Can I just, you've just sort of segued into
have
the
I?
clean.
Well
there,
done. Give
because-
us a sound effect there, Tim.
Yes.
There you go. And it's a popular, yeah, of course. Go for it. Jezbot's having another beer.
No, it's Feb Fast, and I'm not.
Is it still February? I think it's March now, isn't it?
No, not yet.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, it will
well
be.
done.
Nice.
Time
Can I-
travelling.
Nope.
We'll do a sidebar.
So Pete Hegseth claims he's a TV host. I'm not sure. What does he host? Co-host of something? Maybe
Pete
Fox
Hincliffe.
News.
Okay,
I think he's on Fox News. He claims that germs aren't real. So I haven't washed my hands in a decade.
I did hear about this guy.
Hasn't washed his hands in
He's got a
10
job,
years.
yeah?
Yes, because he confessed to never washing his hands after he told viewers that he'd been eating day-old pizza on set. So,
Okay.
so however that segued into him revealing to them
Because they went, gross. They
went,
went, gross. You ate
Germs.
day old paper.
germs aren't
Pizza.
real.
Germs aren't
What?
real. I
And,
can't see
so,
them.
Can't see them. It's not real.
He claims, and this is a quote from him, germs are not a real thing.
Okay.
The right-wing channels Breakfast Show, Fox and Friends, Peter Hegseth claims germs don't exist because they cannot be seen by the naked eye. This guy must be from the 1600s.
Does he believe in God?
Probably.
So
That's
Some
questions
strange
everything,
things going
isn't
in science at the moment. I don't know if it's just like blatant misinformation. You know, we have, top scientists in America, not top scientists, but people employed to be top scientists, ignoring climate science and things like that.
Yeah, well, don't get me started.
But it's happening in India as well. There was an article on NPR.org. Their Minister of Science says that Newton was wrong, an ancient demon king had planes. That Newton didn't understand gravity.
Yep.
Neither did Einstein. They were all sort of slightly wrong.
Okay.
And he says that this is the Nagaswara Rao,
Whoa.
a vice-chancellor at Andhra University in South India, said that Ravana, a demon god with 10 heads, had 24 kinds of aircraft of varying sizes and capacities,
Okay.
and that India was making test tube babies thousands of years ago. Dinosaurs were created by the Hindu god Brahma and Ashu Khosla, a scientist with expertise in paleontology at Punjab University in the North Indian city of Kangar.
Okay.
But anyways,
Well, that's a lot to
That is
take
a lot.
in.
It's kind of almost. So is that like because the Earth goes through certain cycles? So thousands of years ago, we were at a peak of technology, and then something happened. You know, I'm talking
I think
about.
that's the theory.
I think about when the Egyptian rule sort of died out with the pyramid dwelling,
Tutankhamun.
Egyptians, all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of the end of their peak.
Yeah.
Is that around the same time, do you think? So, because
I really don't know.
it's almost like saying that when we're at that peak of making pyramids and whatnot and all these things that have lasted thousands of years after they've died out, why couldn't India have had a peak of sort of technology and flight and
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
And
Sean.
Sure.
why not? Why not? There's evidence of technology in those pyramids in there. Like there's conspiracy theories of evidence.
Look, the timelines.
Silver rods
the
placed in
timelines.
moving water that create energy.
Timeline's definitely off of how long we've had technology.
I think so.
You know.
I think so.
What's to say?
Here we go. Is someone walking past there? Is that right?
So
Different
we're
fella.
looking at the security camera while we pod.
Well, I've got a lot of tools on board in my car, and I don't want Trevor to steal them.
North, east, west, south.
And there he is.
There he is.
So that's very interesting. I say, why the heck not? Where are they getting all this? Where's the shred of proof that that we need that's
Evidence.
led them to this kind of conclusion?
Well, I don't think there is any. That was a national science summit. The Prime Minister was present. There was about 5,000 kids present as well. And apparently most of the science staff were really embarrassed by the comments. And the Prime Minister was visually frustrated.
Is this guy selling a book?
Who knows?
They
I
all
bet
are.
you he is.
Yeah. Has he got a podcast? Bet he doesn't.
Probably.
Is he moonlighting with another podcast?
Who knows? Is he being reprimanded?
Yeah.
Talking about religious experience, I've got another one here.
Yeah.
Of a story about a man who became alive again. He died, and then was taken to his
Resurrected.
funeral in a coffin, and as he had this open casket ceremony, a priest revived him,
The
brought him
old,
back from the dead,
the old pull to Lazarus.
and
For people that
Paul
grew
to
up in
Jesus, I think it is. Isn't
No,
it
no.
Jesus?
Well, Jesus.
No, Lazarus is the guy that returned. So,
No.
so you're coming back. So it's Lazarus.
Lazarus. Jesus brought back Lazarus.
Did he?
I'll have to.
But did-
I'll have to read my Bible
Jesus
tonight.
rose from the dead.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so Jesus is a zombie.
But when the expression is it's something to do with Lazarus.
Lazarus is the guy that comes back into town and is like, oh, you're back, are ya? You know, like he
No,
leaves.
that's the prodigal son.
Is it?
Yeah. So the
Isn't
prodigal,
wasn't Lazarus the prodigal son? Can we please fact check that? Can you look up
Lazarus
Lazarus?
is not the prodigal son. The prodigal son is the prodigal son.
I thought his name was Lazarus.
Lazarus died. Jesus comes in. That's one of his miracles.
Oh no, wasn't Lazarus the guy that Jesus mixed spittle with dirt and
Yeah.
rubbed it in the eyes of this dude? He's like, "What the hell are you Hey, I can see you."
That's the leprosy guy.
Yeah, wasn't there something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you type in Lazarus?
I'm going to.
yeah, it was completely staged. It was completely staged.
What
There
was- I
footage
was-
of it? Footage of it. I was
Oh,
trying
there-
to
yeah,
get up,
right.
and it's been pulled off the website.
Ah,
But
fake news.
fake news. This guy comes in on a coffin, and there's multiple hundreds of people, if not thousands of people, getting in on this parade, or should
Yep.
I say charade.
Okay.
And they were doing a bit of a ritual, you know, like a typical church-style gospel sort of ritual, and the guy just sits upright in his coffin, and the whole crowd buys it. Like, everyone gets in, and there's a band playing in the background, and like you can tell they know what's going to happen by the way that they're playing along with the music, you know.
Yeah.
It's like-
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
There was an audible, like, when he sat up, the drummer almost went boom.
So is that kind of like how the evangelists, they push the head of you and then you fall back and you're
Yeah.
consumed by this?
It was
by
very
the Spirit of
evangelic.
God.
Yeah.
So
do
maybe
you wanna-
maybe it's staged to just sort of like back our religious beliefs just to test the public to see if they're on board.
They were on board.
Because I think do you know what country it was? Jeez, I put you on the spot there. Because in some countries, like everybody turns up for the funeral. So if they're going, we're going to a funeral, we assume he's dead, and then he just stands up. They're going to believe it because they thought we were at a funeral.
Well, this has happened before.
It's in a town called Lacau.
Right. Well, there you go.
And it's happened in a place called Bethany. And it's been written down in the Bible.
Oh.
And this story is the raising of Lazarus. The raising of Lazarus, or the resurrection of Lazarus, is a miracle of Jesus.
Okay.
In the Gospel of John 11:1-44.
Oh yeah.
You know that one.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's your favorite.
Yes.
In which Jesus brings Lazarus of Bethany back to life 4 days after his burial. Can you imagine the smell?
Yes.
In John, they never talk about that, do they?
No.
In John, this is the last miracles that Jesus performs before the Passion.
Passion.
And his own resurrection.
Okay. So it's
Lazarus
very
is the brother of Martha and Mary.
much-
it goes on-
So he was raised from the dead. Can you find out? You know, prodigal son.
Mm-hmm.
Can you find out what the prodigal son's name was, please?
Gary. That's enough Bible talk.
That is
Yeah.
enough. Bible
George
talk.
Powell's going to jail forever anyway.
I wanted to just do a couple of classifieds announcements for the local communities, if we
Oh,
can.
good. Yeah, please do.
It's almost a Pfeffernuss.
It almost
well, no,
is. Should I?
Today on the show, we're going to make pfeffernuss.
Pfeffernuss.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Off the first hand, know anyone with any olive trees in the Bundura?
I don't know what you just said.
No, I do. Yeah, what language is that?
In the Bundura area?
Bandura
Bundura area?
Yep.
Anyone with olive trees
Yep.
can have them collected on the 25th to the 26th of May,
Hmm.
and they put them all together and make olive oil, and you can get a bit of
Here we
olive oil you
go.
get back. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that in Clayton, big Greek area, or immigrant Greek area, and there are olives for every street.
And I know they
On
do
the
it with
footpath
I know
everywhere.
they do it with the tomatoes. They get all the tomatoes together and
They don't
make
squish them
tomato
with their
sauce.
feet, do they?
I think they do.
It's
It is a
gross.
process.
Oh, they make the passata.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff, that. But yeah, so,
Cosy.
Molto bene.
Cosy.
Molto bene.
yeah, 3,000
Italian,
acres,
though. That's
it's
not
called.
Greek.
The
That's not
organisation's
Greek.
called. You can see their website, 3000acres.org. Olive to oil, 2019.
Okay.
But yeah, but if you're outside of the area, apparently, you can collect your olives and take them and make them part of the batch. And then-
Contribute.
I really like this idea of communities coming together
especially for
olives.
food resources.
I heard on one of the community radios, PBS or Triple R, a rubbish collecting group. They have they stop it from going into the bay. There's no point picking up rubbish on the beach. You pick it up before it goes into the beach.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's all these communities, Bundoora, Clayton, whole bunch of areas that once a month we meet up and we pick up rubbish.
Should get into things like that.
We've done it before.
We have done it before. It was
Clean
on
Up
one of
Australia
the,
Day, was it?
No,
I
just
think
off.
it was on one of the stees. We cleaned up the creek for our mate's 40th.
Oh, brilliant.
He opted to go and clean up our old area that we all grew up in.
So this is great.
Yeah.
That's great. If you're going to get people together, make it productive.
Act local, think global.
Okay.
That's right.
That's
And pick up some rubbish. You know,
every
like
once in a while.
people think that rubbish isn't their responsibility. You know, you see people walking down the street, walking past rubbish as though it's nothing.
Yeah, all the time.
Absolute blind eye. I find it difficult. I find it difficult to pick stuff off the ground, given my condition. But I find it more difficult to, if I can see a bin in the distance and I can see rubbish in front of me between there and there, it instantly feels like it's my responsibility to take that piece and just put it in that bin. It's quite simple.
Do you think that people, like in, say, the busy bustle area that you're living in, do you think that they're just worried that if they pick something up off the ground, people are going to think they're, hobos?
Possibly.
Maybe.
You know,
But we need to stop worrying about what other people think too much, don't we?
we sure do.
When it comes down
We
to...
Sean do.
I think it's more the other way. Like, I pick up a piece of paper off the ground, plastic, and put it in the bin. And I do it, if I can, at any stage, if it comes up. But sometimes I hope people don't think I'm a hobo. I hope people don't think I'm a hero. I hope people don't think I'm just like out here. Like, it's not like I'm filming it and posting it on Instagram as I do it. Like, look, another piece of paper for the day.
There's no reward for it.
There's no
It's
reward.
just because
No.
you want to pick it up.
Do you sometimes think about, if you're going to pick a hamburger up, like, there's still a good bite in that? Because
Waste not, want not.
people aren't going to probably think you're a hero then.
No, that's right.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Is that how?
Yeah.
Yeah. What difference does it make?
Yeah. If you see a half a sub, you're
Yeah,
gonna eat that half sub.
that's right.
Why not?
Yeah.
I think we just did a Seinfeld bit when. No shit, you had it.
I had it.
Well
I
done,
wasn't sure if I was gonna
soundboard
do it. Yeah, there you go.
3000. Yeah, where George picks the sandwich out of the old bin there, but that's someone else's joke, so
It sure
we don't need to go. I would like to bring up something that community rate. Sorry, Sean, did I cut you off there?
That's all right. As long as we're talking about community
We're
notices,
still on community?
we're on it.
Yeah, well, community radio this morning, they had a guest on. It was speaking of the old Feb fast that we've been talking about this month, or last month when this
That the
gets
community
posted.
should get, the drinking community
Well,
should
what's
get on board.
happening is that restaurants are really feeling the pinch on these sober assholes coming into their restaurants because
Right.
you don't get the margins on the meat.
I'll
You
just
get
get
the
a-
margins on the cocktails.
Okay.
We spoke of urine cocktails in the last episode.
Sure did.
Mocktails.
Yep.
Cocktails.
Tails.
Yes.
Did we say that joke?
Yeah.
No.
15 times.
Okay.
Listen to the last episode. So these restaurants and cafe cultures are really struggling with the Feb fast, the dry July, the sober October. Was that all of them? I think that's all of them.
November.
And here we go, because I think I've coined a new month to get dry.
Okay.
Something for August, and we can workshop this.
Okay.
So don't shoot me down too hard, because I've only got one example. More fast, August.
Wonderful.
Where did the fasting come into
More
not
August
drinking?
or fast?
Well, probably the Bible. Jesus fasted for 40 days while he was...
This is a very Jesus-heavy episode, Jeremy.
It's very
Well,
heavy.
you know.
Are you
What
trying
are
to...
you're feeling? Because
I just
George
have
Powell has just been convicted today.
Yeah.
You've met
And we're
George
allowed to
Powell,
talk
haven't
about
you?
Yeah,
allowed
well,
to talk
he
about
gave me my first holy host
Yeah.
on my blessed
Did
tongue.
you have to kiss his ring?
You know
'Cause
what?
He did the
Yeah,
old. He did the
there
old
was all
kiss the
that.
ring thing.
What's it? fucking travesty.
What is
but,
what is up with that? The old kiss the ring.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
well, that's how
I
the
just thought I'd throw that at you because you weren't raised in a Catholic environment, were you?
No. I had a loose involvement with the church. I was part of the Uniting Church
Okay.
in Sandringham for a little bit due to relations of my parents, or they were my step-grandparents.
Okay.
And I ended up being in one of the Christmas parades as a shepherd.
I thought you were going to say as a tree.
Yeah, no, I was
Shepherd's pretty good.
Shepherd's pretty good. They're up there. Jesus
Top of
was
the
a no. Joseph was a shepherd.
Joseph, yeah.
Wasn't Joseph the carpenter? I always get
Yeah.
confused.
No, Jesus
Now,
was a carpenter.
Joseph-
He's
the-
a carpenter, but his dad was a fisherman.
No, I think he was a shepherd.
Okay.
What did Jesus? I don't know.
He was an IT consultant.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But how's this? You know any good saxophonists?
I sure do.
You do?
I sure do.
Yeah, well, might need to get in touch with them because in New Zealand, a saxophonist is needed to help an endangered bird get in the mood.
Ah,
Okay.
A little
All
bit,
right.
a little
A
bit
bit
of
of the,
Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Mood
Wind
music.
blown.
The sultry sounds
Sultry
of a
sounds of-
saxophone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny
It's for the
G.
kakapo. I think that's how you pronounce it. A flightless parrot native to New Zealand. And it's officially an endangered species. And apparently there's only...
Well done.
Okay. What? That it's
yeah,
officially
we
did it.
We got him, Sarge.
Nearly,
We got him,
nearly
Sarge.
got
got
him.
him. Yeah.
Nearly got him. 147
Sarge.
birds left in the wild. But in a bid to counteract the dwindling numbers of birds, they decided to get some saxophonists on board to give them a sexy soundtrack. Just like the sexy soundtrack I requested while I was taking my clothes off for the border officials in New Zealand.
You
But
did
they
say
didn't
that.
give it to me
Okay, no, they
to
didn't.
get me in the
But for
mood.
some dodgy bird out there,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. They're getting the saxophonist.
Should I put a sexy sax?
please put
music
some Kenny G.
underneath?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so here,
Kenny G or sexy.
I can manage that. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, but apparently you don't even have to be there. You just got to record the sexiest piece and send it to them, and you could win a $1,000 New Zealand dollar voucher.
Okay, is that like Disney dollars or Cades County's cash?
Yeah, or it's the same time as like you hand in your kangaroo tails, and we'll give you some kind of
A bounty.
bounty.
Yeah, bounty. Not kangaroo though. It's more rabbits, foxes, snakes.
Yeah,
Depends
rabbit
where you are.
tails.
Yeah.
Or
You're
rabbit's
not allowed
foot.
to, you're not allowed to just go out there shooting roost him.
Okay.
No.
Just,
They are
I thought,
still a native
we
animal.
were in the middle of a cull.
A colour, yeah. A state
could
of
be.
emergency.
but
Yeah.
are you a designated colour?
Yeah.
Have you got your ticket?
No, my white ticket, my white card.
Your red card.
Okay.
For this one.
Okay.
Yes.
Big red.
All the blood.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you was talking about red.
Oh, your
kangaroos.
hair. No. Oh.
Like,
How
speaking
dare
about
you?
the
How
cull,
dare you? How
It's
dare
like
you?
maybe think of like a giant kangaroo war. Have you heard about the emu wars?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have. Yes,
haven't.
there was. There's a good dollop on that one.
All right.
Another podcast. Emu wars were the emus were running rife on the farmlands, and they just said go out and
And they sent the military out.
yes,
Yeah.
and they didn't do a good job, did they?
Well, the emus are still out there,
They're still fighting the fight.
still fighting the good fight. Hang in there, emus. We're all behind you.
Where do you stand? I know people say things differently in other countries, but the whole emu thing in America,
emu.
where do you stand on that?
Well, because you.
Emu. Emu.
But do they say
Emu.
oo XYZ?
Emu.
Because there's a lot of, like we have alpacas over here, like over there, an emu is a really good sort of, I don't know, for meat, I guess. It's a
Emu
good little
meat.
farming.
I'm getting
know.
hungry.
I am actually.
Not like ostrich.
I'd have an ostrich egg.
It's a
You know,
difference between
ostriches
an
were quite
ostrich and-
popular for a while. People were making money off them, and now ostriches aren't a thing.
No.
Okay.
An ostrich comes from Africa, an emu comes from Australia.
Australia.
Well,
I
they
think
are
that's the
different birds. But remember, there was like alpacas are the new ostrich, aren't they? Remember hobby farmers that
Yeah.
have a few ostriches, and
Yeah.
now they have alpacas.
Yeah. Okay.
There was yabbies as well. That was a big thing. On
Yabbies.
farms. Yeah,
When
we're
was
going to
that?
farm.
Yabby
farm
farms.
yabbies.
It was a big thing.
Like yabby meat's going to be the best thing since
Since-
shrimp.
yeah.
Well, I mean, on the environmental tip, we're
Country
going to...
craze.
Oh, there you go.
Country
Coin
craze.
that.
Okay. Do I need a theme for that now? So I'll make one for the next time we bring it up.
talking about crazes,
We were.
Yeah.
the next craze, the new craze in the UK, the next intoxication craze, the next drug craze.
Oh yeah, because we do a little segment on future drugs we've done in the
Yeah,
in the
like
past.
in RoboCop 2, it's Nuke.
Oh, Nuke.
Oh yeah.
You've got your
The
usually
the one where they have in
fluoro
the
kind of
bug-
drugs you
Yeah.
inject into your neck.
Terminator. What else was there?
Was Terminator?
Was it Matrixy at the start of the movie had those weird inhaler pods? Was that?
Oh, and then there's Judge Dredd, where
Okay.
they have slow-mo. It's like
Slow-mo.
comes in a Ventolin, and it slows time down down to the nanosecond.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, which was that? Was it Demolition Man that had the silver paint?
Yeah.
Silver paint. Oh, Mad
Chrome-
Max.
like
Chrome.
chroming.
Oh, that was a Mad Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people,
I had
I've never understood chroming, the huffing,
The
the
huffing.
huffing of chemicals.
Yeah.
And
I
then it's
never
all
quite
over you.
understood it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, isn't it? Like but seems to give people a bit of a buzz. And on the chroming tip, in the UK, kids have started to inhale. Can you guess?
It has to be some kind of chemical of some sort because it's huffing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
chemicals is in everything. You could think
Like
of an object.
Huffing ammonia. Oh, that's not an object. Turntable. Keyboards. Because they would stink. If you smell your keyboard, I bet you it stinks.
Computer keyboard or
Yeah, computer
Okay,
keyboards.
not synthesizer.
Not so much a synthesizer, but
Yeah.
All right, well, what is it?
Well, apparently in the UK, teenagers have been sniffing wheelie bins.
wheelie.
I see what you did there.
Where's your wheelie bin, though?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
in Manchester, kids have caught on that if you melt a wheelie bin and inhale the fumes, the burning fumes, you can get a bit of a buzz from it. So all the wheelie bins in the city are getting melted. Every night, more bins are hitting
It's,
the skids,
It's not good.
It's ridiculous.
Do you remember those? Do you remember
That's
those?
ridiculous.
isn't it?
Remember that scare in late 2000 or early 2000s where Toys R Us was selling those little
Beados.
those Beados.
Beados.
Oh, that's
So-
right. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a thing
And
about that.
the first batch had some chemical in it that if you melt it up,
No, if you ate it, if
Yeah.
you were a child and you ate one, you would trip out.
yeah.
trip balls.
Trip balls.
They had similar properties to the date rape drug GHB.
Oh dear.
Ah.
Cosby.
Because that's just
Hot Cosby.
basically solvents. It's two industrial solvents mixed together, that one.
Yowza. So there'd be that kind of solvents and stuff in the bins, surely. So is it the same kind of thing? Like a factory produced item has this, hardening
Toxic chemical.
toxic chemical.
Yeah, basically.
But if you breathe it in when you're huffing it, oh baby.
Oh, just,
It's
just,
like a-
just amazes me, though. Like, what's next?
Well,
we-
what's next is what we talked about on the last show is probably urinal cakes.
Eating
Like,
urinal
that has
cakes?
Some kind of.
They look tasty
Although you
enough
get
as it
you
is.
get chronic diarrhea. and
Someone would have figured out if they were going to get you high enough by now because they look so edible.
They do look edible,
But,
don't they?
Like, what is next? Injecting big
Well,
M's?
I can tell you.
Snorting dirt?
Sounds hot.
I can tell you a story from last year that I've just pulled up here that I remembered sort of. Teens are getting high on. Here we go. Teens are now getting drunk on boiled tampon juice.
What do you mean?
What?
That's what I just said. Kids these days will try just about anything to catch a buzz. From boofing, I don't know what that is, boofing beer, it's
Yeah.
probably up your ass, to vaping vodka.
Which probably up your ass.
Their their latest cheap thrill? Question mark. Feminine hygiene products, of course.
Right.
Teens in Indonesia are collecting menstrual pads and tampons, often of the used variety, and boiling them, allowing the mixture to cool.
Wait, of
and
the
then
used
imbibing
variety.
It's got to be used.
Do they have to be used? Is that part of
That's if you're going to get the real high.
Is this like...
used.
Because the A-League, the 1%ers, they say, the elite, they say that their new thing is the blood of the young.
Okay,
They don't
yeah,
fuck
they-
with
yeah.
cocaine. They don't fuck with, these people that
No, it's all about drinking that baby blood.
getting that baby blood, apparently.
Yeah.
Is this along the lines of that?
No, these are poor teenagers in Indonesia that can't afford even the beaties.
Wonderful.
Or the beados. Is that what you...
Now we know.
Now we know.
Police have already arrested several minors caught making this menstrual pad moonshine.
Ah.
One 14-year-old confessed that he and his buds swing it morning, afternoon, and evening.
Is that what you
the
do? You
Daily
swing it?
Report. The Daily Mail reports. So there are weird things like that going on in the
What
world.
about that gives a new angle for Patsy Biscoe. The Tetley Tea All-Rounder fits in a teapot or cup. Do you remember that ad?
Nope.
The favourite rolls through 2,000 olds, and boy, it really makes you sit up. You don't know Patsy Biscoe?
No idea what you're talking about.
Tetley Tea ad.
Nah.
I'll put it. I'll find it and
All
I'll
right.
put it in here.
I dare you to.
Well, there's one good thing about shopping. One fantasy helps me a lot. It's a vision of me with a nice cup of tea. It's Tetley's, it's fresh, and it's hot. You just take a Tetley all-rounder. It goes in the teapot or cup. The flavour, it rolls through 2,000 olds, and by golly, it makes you sit up. So when you're out doing the shopping and it comes to selecting the tea, pick Tetley all-rounder. No choice could be sounder. Ah, that's the taste of Tetley.
Nice.
Not at all. I have no recollection of that. How do you remember that?
It was
Ethan.
a fucking ad.
Oh, because it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I hope I did. I'm finding that after, so I hope I did find it.
I hope so too.
To prove my point.
Those jingle guys really get in your head.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. Juicy fruit will get you going. It's got the it's got the taste that keeps
Taste.
on growing.
Oh, growing.
Rowing? Anyway, buy some juicy fruit.
Yeah.
I still remember.
And join a rowing team.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got-
definitely join a rowing team.
Yeah.
If you've got the
Dead.
if you can.
That's gnarly. I've got another little story from Houston, and somebody called in because they were going into what they thought was an abandoned house to smoke some marijuana.
Ah.
Some wheelie bin.
And the yeah, that's it. And they basically went in there and they were faced with a tiger,
A
full-
Bengal tiger.
a full-size tiger.
Hmm.
They saw the tiger in this building, this vacant house that had obviously been abandoned for some time. So somebody had done the old back to the importing over animals from overseas.
A tiger in the shoes.
They've managed to get a tiger over there and then abandon it in a house, only to be discovered by marijuana smokers.
I guess that'll happen
Yeah,
from time to time. And I bet you that tiger's very hungry.
I'd say you'd be very
Just
hungry.
like
So
the
does
dudes
that-
that were smoking pot, getting the munchies.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to hear that
That
went.
tiger
How
definitely
that
had the
went.
munchies.
Like it was real. It was a real.
That's a real
They saw the tiger.
tiger. Yeah.
Because I saw the boy King Tutankhamun in a lounge room once, and that wasn't real.
Okay.
What about the old, obviously, this is a bit old now, the crocodile? You know that one?
What's a crocodile?
Heroin isn't quite enough for some Russians. Crocodile.
Oh, crocodile. That's
It's
been around
probably-
for a bit.
Yeah, it's it's primarily derived and readily available codeine and regularly causes gangrene in its users because of harmful byproducts.
Yeah.
And so
The
basically
limbs
turns
start
you,
falling off.
and you look at like you got scales like a crocodile.
That sounds great.
Superb.
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
Ah.
Not sure.
It's
Poverty.
full on.
Well, I tell you what, it's innate in humans throughout all of time to get high, even in animals. You see the monkeys or the elephants eating the rotten fruit, and there's all these, everyone's out there licking toads.
Dolphins
and-
sucking on pufferfish.
Exactly, past the puffer.
I've
the
heard
left.
those
Puff,
dolphins
puff,
are
pass.
pretty horny.
Oh, yeah,
so
they get
maybe they're
frisky.
sucking on for other
Horny
reasons.
or rapey is what
Okay.
I heard.
Okay.
So dolphins aren't very nice. They're kind of dicks, actually.
Rape.
Okay.
Yeah, a little
I read
bit.
something that might not have been real though. I read it yesterday.
Mm.
Of a guy that was swimming an ultra marathon, one of them big long stretches somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and he got surrounded by a pod of dolphins,
Mm.
and so was sort of wondering what was going on with the dolphins, and then he realised that there was a massive shark underneath him, and that they protected him. They stayed with him for the remainder of the journey.
Wow.
And apparently, he didn't want to tell the people. There's a boat usually next to these guys. He didn't want to tell them because he was doing a good time and he wanted to finish the race.
Yeah,
Apparently, he
right.
was so dedicated to the race. He was like, "I'm not going to say there's a shark here because they'll pull me out. It's going to ruin my time."
Yeah, but the
Sounds like Bullshit. Any witnesses? Gary?
yeah, the guys on the boat. Oh no,
No,
they didn't. They weren't
Lazarus
told.
told them.
They
Yeah.
weren't told.
seriously, I was dead for
Yeah,
4 days.
I was totally swimming.
Dolphins all around me.
And then I saw a shark. Yeah,
There's stories like this.
I've
The
heard-
dolphins also can be nice.
Yeah, I've heard this.
As long as they're not,
Even though
as long as they're not horny.
as long as they're not rapey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Shite.
So you've heard of hook turns.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've heard of J turns.
Yes.
Have you heard of P turns?
No. But what the fuck is a J turn?
I think a J turn is just a hook turn.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, but I think it is.
Okay.
You know, a hook looks
So these
resembles a J.
So these are all driving terms that we only experience in Melbourne.
Pretty much,
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Melbourne driving.
Roundabouts as well. They're not popular. Well, in America, there's no roundabouts.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. True story.
Wow.
Apparently in Chicago, you don't put tomato sauce on a hot dog.
Well, that's just
You put
ridiculous.
ketchup.
Yeah, just mustard
Okay,
No.
and pickle.
No.
Right.
No.
That's it.
bit of sauerkraut.
That's
But
wrong.
yeah, P-turns. They've introduced, I saw an ad on the television, they've introduced P-turns to the new Punt Road upgrade. And they explain it in detail on the advertisement. But, I mean, where do we draw the line?
Oh,
In just,
where's the
we
line
just
in
pull
the
another
sand?
letter from the
Sand.
alphabet and create a turn.
Yeah, that's it. So
Of
is it a
course.
turn? Is it a turn that you? I'm assuming you've got to go, stay in your lane, stay on the left, and wait to do a U-turn. And then when the lights go a certain way, you're allowed to go right around,
Right around,
Go
yeah.
around,
back.
go back the other way.
like making a P shape.
So you're coming up to an intersection. There's no left turn, but if you keep going through the intersection, you can stop, then
And
do
do a
a
U-turn.
P-turn.
Well, U-turn into which creates a
You turn a
P-turn.
left turn into a U-turn.
Yeah, okay.
Throw a hook in there. Got yourself a beat.
Yeah,
Yep.
that should make it easier for the tourists that come here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the Great Ocean Road is massive with our Chinese tourist friends, and there's no signage to say how fucking dangerous it is. So what they've upgraded the roads with several different languages, saying dangerous curb coming up, slow down. At one section of the Great Ocean Road now, it's down to 20 kilometres an hour.
Really?
Slow down.
That's depending on who you get
That's
stuck
pretty slow.
by. That's
Yeah.
pretty quick.
That's pretty slow. So that would bank up. Surely that would create a traffic jam.
It's more of a let's go for a long stoppy-starty drive rather than
okay, rather
let's
than
get to our
one
destination.
big drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gone from the Great Ocean Road to the Good Ocean Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Like, because even one of the 12 apostles, it's not even 12 apostles anymore. They're all
think it's
crashing.
two.
Yeah, they're all crashing into the ocean.
Well done, boys.
Yeah, well done.
we
We
did
did
it.
it. We
Oh, we
did
actually
it.
we didn't do that. We just stayed to watch Earth do its thing there.
Isn't it funny as the Catholic Church crumbles into the ocean, as do the...
So do the 12 apostles.
Mhm.
Each of them.
See what I'm
Very
saying there?
interesting.
Do you think it's relative to these the
Yes.
end of
That's
days
what he's saying.
prophecies?
That's actually exactly what he's saying.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
the Catholic Church.
Well, it might not be the end because I read last week that the Catholic Church has now introduced contactless payments. At the end, no longer do you have to put notes or coins into the bowl at the end of the service if you don't have change. Which these days you don't always have change. You experience this when I walk past homeless people. They're doing it rough now because no one's got change. You see them sitting there, and
True story.
can you spare a coin? Can you spare $1? Bruh,
Smallest
can you
I've got is
spare-
a 20, and you're not getting it.
And some people don't even have that on them. You know, just got a bit of plastic. It's like, what's this?
Yeah, it's true. I never really thought of that.
But the church has overcome this problem by introducing FPOS to its services.
Yeah,
No.
I like it.
No,
So you could just tap in, tap and go.
Tap and
that's ridiculous.
go to Christ. Tap your love to Christ.
Still
Yeah.
tax free. It's in the church.
Okay.
Mm.
'Cause
But
they
then
used to
there's
do
no
it.
accountability in the service, like because it doesn't come at the basket doesn't come around at the end. It comes around twice.
Yeah, well, no, it
One
actually
in the-
is supposed to come around once, but
You
they
double
used to
up.
do it. They used to do
you
it
double up
twice.
if there's something happening within the church,
It's
within
like
the
TV,
congregation.
how they just add a set of
Yeah.
breaks.
Let's just say we're needing you toilet roof for the kids. You
We're
do
gonna
a
go
double
for
collection.
two collections.
Say
yeah.
Maureen's needs an operation. You
You're
do a
too
double
far.
collect. So the first collects for Maureen, second collects for God.
Yep.
But what you do, like, if you don't have, if you're a bit of a tight ass, but you want the warm rays of the Lord Jesus Christ on a Sunday, you need to donate something. But if you're a bit of a tight ass, what you do is you pretend this is one of Tim's movement. Do you want to explain the move?
Yeah, what we used to do is when the collection thing would come around, it was like a ring with a sack on it that people put their coins in.
Velvet sack.
Yeah.
So as it came past, just as you're simulating putting a coin in there, you hit it with your knee, makes the chink sound.
The old bump your head on the wall trick.
Get to keep your 10 cents.
Exactly right. But with this tap and go thing, that's going to run rife because there's no sound associated with a $5 donation, a 10.
So you could pull out a Officeworks printing card and just go.
Let's just say, Tim, on the
knocking on the
let's just
thing and
sound
go, "Ooh,
as
he's
an
done it."
example. If we were in church and I gave a $5, only a $5, what sound effect would you go? Right. What?
Not right.
What would a tenner?
Great.
Good. We're getting better. So what if I dumped a hundo, the biggest note in Australia? What's a hundo worth?
A greenback.
There it is. There he is.
And that comes straight from God,
That's
up
straight
above.
from God. That was God speaking right there.
He's got the best voice ever.
So I don't know how that works. Maybe it's a centralized offering. So it's like $1. So if you tap it, you're only getting it's $1. You know,
I've
or
actually
$2.
They wouldn't do it.
I've
they
seen
wouldn't
that
say
in
it.
servos. The
Put in your put in
I'm
your
not
number.
queuing up at a
St. Vincent's or whatever.
ATM after my service. I'm getting the fuck out of there to have a big breakfast.
It's a tap and go. I've seen it in servos, St. Vincent's de Paul's or whatever the guy is. They have just quickly donate $2.
Okay.
Tap and go scenario.
Okay.
Tax free.
All right.
Yep.
So
I'll-
it's just
I'll tap and go a charity. $2. I guess.
Absolutely. I'll give money to charity as well, but you got to understand your charity.
Yeah.
They're not always as benevolent as they make themselves out to
How
be.
much money went into the system you're implementing at the servo with the tap and go? I'm sure that's not cheap.
That's right, bit of an
No.
investment, but it takes money to make money. Just like George Michael said, you got to get up to get down. Just like a P-turn said, you got to
He
turn left
also-
to turn right.
He also said, "Wake me up before you go."
Yeah, that's right. He also got caught
He also
masturbating
said,
in a public toilet.
Like Jesus to a child. I think he might have. Very Jesus.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Well, it's a very, very heavy-based, news-orientated podcast.
Well,
There's
it was
a lot of
was
information today.
I think we're calling this one "It's the News."
Yep.
Have we already
I like
done
it.
that?
If you hadn't heard it somewhere else, you just heard it here now.
You did.
Heard it
You
here
did.
first.
But
It's all hearsay, though. We've heard it somewhere before now.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And we've tried to credit the relevant sources involved, but who's to say if we did that correctly as well?
Yeah.
Well, it's always just the internet, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
But on behalf of Turnstile Records and the Escape Pods, we'd like to thank you for listening to another fantastic episode. This is great. I'm Timmy Taco.
Yes, everything that he said, I'll ditto it. And I'm Jezbot.
Ditto as well. And I'm Sean Enough.
On behalf of Turnstile Records and the Escape Pods, I've been Jezbot 3000, futuristic, fully automated soundboard system.
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. The ship will self-destruct in exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Who are you? One pod left. And 3 of us.
The escape pod. The escape pod.
What if there are droids in the escape pod? The sensors wouldn't pick them up.
Escape pod sounds really nice.
Well, boys, it's a very lovely ship. I think you should look out. Goodbye.